I have now been to 12 countries, and in this video, we're going to rank them from worst to best, and it's going to be a tier list. These are the countries I've been to: Canada, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Mexico, Costa Rica, Spain, France, Italy, Vatican City, Czech Republic. I'm born in America, and in this video, I'm going to talk about my experiences in all these countries, what makes a country an F tier, what makes a country an S tier, and I'm going to rank it on things like, how was my experience there? How was the food? Would I recommend that you go there? How was my overall experience? And things like that. Well, my first country on this list, I know many people like it. I certainly didn't. And let's get on with the list. Alright, so there's only one country on my tier list that gets an F out of the 12 countries I've been to, and that country is Spain. And the first reason why I think it gets an F tier is because Spain is expensive. Actually, almost all of Western Europe is expensive. For the price that you'll spend for one night at a hotel, which is usually about 100 euros, if not more, you can spend at least a week in a hotel or Airbnb at some of the other countries we'll mention later. But aside from the price, Spain was also boring. I was in Spain for a week and I went to Madrid and Barcelona. I thought it was really overpriced. I didn't like the food there. I thought it was bland and boring and underwhelming. I didn't really feel like there was a lot to do there. The service was really bad. And honestly, I was really underwhelmed. I went in with an open mind, hoping that I would like it, but unfortunately, out of all the countries I've been to, Spain is the only one I don't want to go to again. I mean, I'll give an example. So, one time when I was in Barcelona, I wanted to go to a restaurant. I was at one of the most popular places in the whole city, and so the restaurant said it was open, but the kitchen was closed, which really doesn't even make any sense. And so I talked to the waiter in Spanish. I said, hey, I would like to get something to eat. And then she said, oh, sorry, the kitchen's closed, so we won't give you anything. The only thing that you can buy is what's on display. And then in the restaurant, I see a guy eating a sandwich, and I say, I want a sandwich. And then she says, oh no, that's not a sandwich, that's just some stuff that I put on some bread. And I was like, well, I'll just take that then. And then she like begrudgingly served me. And that's one of the things I don't like about Spain is like, you really have to fight for what you want. And I really feel like when you're in Spain and in other countries in Western Europe, they don't really like tourists, and they kind of view you as a plague, as opposed to other countries on the list where they're really happy that you're there. Well, now on to D tier. Alright, next we have the C tier. And there are 4 countries in this section. First one is Canada. The first country I went to 7 years ago. Wow, I sound old now. But yeah, Canada, it's basically like going to your little brother's house. I mean, I think there's kind of a reason why people are talking about it being the 51st state. I mean, the similarities are crazy. It's like Canada is about 90% the same as America. The main difference is they use the metric system, they're nicer, and then as a tourist, oh that's right, their dollar is at least 30% cheaper, if not more. And those are the main differences you'll encounter as a tourist. But like, as far as living there, there's all sorts of other things you factor in, like the fact that Canada's always colder, and they get paid less and taxed more and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad it was my first country. It's a nice, easy place to go to. You'll never have to worry about being scared or anything like that. People there are really nice, really friendly. Like, I'm not even kidding. My first time I was in Canada, I told people it was my first time, and they were giving me like discounts and stuff like that. And I've been a lot of places, and no other place in the world made me feel that way or gave me discounts when I told them it was my first time. That was really cool. And so, next country on our list is the Vatican. And the Vatican is it's cool. I mean, you can go through the whole thing in like one day. And why do I put it in C tier? Because like it's a cool experience. Like, if you're in Rome, I definitely think you should go to the Vatican. I mean, I bought holy water in the Vatican. I bought a rosary in the Vatican. Like, I mean, now I have stuff in my apartment that is blessed. Like, so I bought the holy water because maybe I think I'm dying one day. I'll drink the holy water and maybe I'll be saved. We'll see. Okay. But fun fact about the Vatican is, unfortunately, it has the worst pizza I've ever had in my whole life. I'm not even kidding, which is ironic because the Vatican is inside Rome, but the pizza I had there was horrible. It was not good. Yeah, I think everyone should go to the Vatican, check it out. Next one is France. I put France in the C tier because, I mean, it's France, it's cool. Like, the food there is really amazing. Like, they have some of the best, like, pastries and baked goods in the world, and as far as coffee and tea and stuff like that as well. And what blew me away about France is everything in France is art. Like, I'm not even kidding, everything you see in France is like an opportunity for someone to showcase their art. Like, you could be walking down the street and you'll see art carved into the sidewalk, in the street lamps, and inside the train, in the metro, the food. Literally everything in France is art. Like, and that's why, I think that's probably why they're so pretentious and they think they're the best, is because they literally live almost like in an art piece. And my favorite place in France is Versailles. And I mean, I don't know, it's not my favorite place, but I wouldn't be opposed to going to France or Paris again. And the last one in the C tier is Italy. And I feel really volatile about this because, I mean, Italy for me is all about highs and lows. Like, you could have lows where I got scammed twice in one day, and that was horrible, and maybe never want to go there again. But on the other side, you have like all of the history, and the food is incredible. Like, by far the best food in Europe, and it's really cool, and it's kind of amazing to like walk around and you still see all of the pieces of ancient Rome everywhere, like the aqueducts and pillars and stuff like that. And yeah, Italy's not my favorite, but I understand why it's so beloved. And I wouldn't be opposed to going to somewhere else in Italy, like Milan or Sicily or even Venice or something like that. And next we're gonna go on to the B tier. Next on our list is the B tier, and there are 2 countries in this tier. Actually, where I am right now is the next spot on our list. And so you know what that means? Spoiler alert, America is not my favorite country. Surprise! Yeah, it is definitely not my favorite place in the world. Not my favorite place I've been to. If I was a billionaire, I would not be here right now. There is no way. There is a 0% chance. But the reason why it's in the B tier is because, unfortunately, it's the truth, but it's the best place on earth to make money. And that's the easy, simple truth. I mean, in America, it is so easy to make money. There are opportunities literally everywhere. I've done so many different things to make money, so many different secret hacks and different things and side gigs and all sorts of things. And like, I could make a whole video talking about all the different ways I've made money over the years. And most of it is really easy, and a lot of people just don't know about it. But yeah, it's B tier. I mean, I live in Portland. It's definitely my favorite city in America. I've been everywhere I want to go in America except for Hawaii. I would love to go to Hawaii, but it's super expensive. And yeah, I can talk about why Portland's my favorite really quick. I mean, where I am right now, I love the nature. And I also love the weather. I mean, it's May and it's only like 60 degrees. That's really cool. It's not too expensive. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment for like $12.50, and I live like a 5-minute walk from a park just like this. The food here is amazing. Like, I mean, I'm horrible at cooking, so I eat out every day, and the food here is incredible. Yeah, life here is easy. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. Like, downtown with all the homelessness and everything, the dating scene here is trash. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I like Portland. There are other places I would want to live in America if they were cheaper, like maybe like San Diego or something like that. But yeah, I mean, as long as I'll live in America, I will most likely live here or in the state of Oregon. I do like Oregon a lot. And yeah, so that's America on our list. I give it a B tier. Comment below, what do you think about that? I'm really curious. And so after that, I will say what's above America. I wonder what you guys are gonna think about this one. The one I put right above America is Mexico. Oh man, I spent a month in Mexico last year. Mexico, like the food alone would make Mexico S tier. The only one thing that's holding back Mexico from being S tier is the safety. Like, it's a violent place. We all know about narcos, we all know about the cartel. I could get into other forms of violence in Mexico that I have experienced, but maybe I'll talk about that later. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, Mexico, I mean, the food is incredible. People there are really nice and friendly. And I mean, if you want to go to Mexico, go somewhere that's not swarmed by tourists. Like, I was in Guadalajara, I was there for a whole month, and I only met 10 people that spoke English. And I'm so glad I learned Spanish, because if I didn't know Spanish, I might have had a really bad time. But now that I know Spanish, my Duolingo streak is almost at 1 year. That's really cool. Yeah, my Spanish is pretty decent now. Like, I can definitely carry a conversation. I would say my listening isn't the best, but as far as my speaking and writing and things like that go, it's not bad. Yeah, I love Mexico. I would love to go again. I love Oaxacan food. I would love to go to Oaxaca. Mexico City. I would love to maybe even Guadalajara again. I mean, the food there is incredible. I think about the food in Mexico every day. And there's so many different foods in Mexico that they don't even have here, like campechano, carneta, or carnaza, cachete, guacamole con chapulines, like I got this 10 mole platter at a restaurant that has an art museum. That was really cool. Yeah, Guadalajara is an amazing place. I loved it. It was great. I mean, it doesn't have like the most amount of things to do, but if you want a place to just chill, meet nice people, have a great time, like Guadalajara has to be one of my favorite cities in the world. What an amazing place. But yeah, I love Mexico, and I will say the last thing I'll say is it is a little bit sad that the Mexicans you meet in Mexico are way more friendly than the Mexicans you meet here. Because like my first day in Mexico, I made friends and it was really cool. But I sat down at a restaurant, someone started talking to me, we became friends. Like that's amazing, that's incredible. That's what I love about Latin America, and it's something that usually doesn't really happen here. And so yeah, learn Spanish, go to Mexico, have an amazing time. Don't go to all the boring places, go somewhere, challenge yourself, and on to the A tier. Alright, now we are in the A tier. There are 2 countries in this list, and that means we're in the top 3. What do you think it is? Comment down below. Alright, so in my number 3 spot, here's what I'm going to choose. On my official list, I did have these 2 swapped because that's how close it is. But for this video, you know what? I will swap them. My number 3, I choose Costa Rica. My biggest surprise country of last year had to be Costa Rica. It's a hilarious story why I went to Costa Rica. Maybe I'll tell another day, but I spent a week in Costa Rica and it was amazing. I went in talk about finding out about a country. Sure, I've heard of it, but finding out about a country, buying a trip, buying a flight there, and then within a month researching it nonstop for a whole month. And so I basically learned about the country about a month before I went there. And yeah, it was incredible. I went to 2 oceans in 24 hours. That was amazing. I went to the Pacific first. We went to the Pacific and we went to Turtle Island. That was really cool. And then the next day we went to the Caribbean side, the Atlantic side, and we went to Puerto Viejo, which has my favorite beach in the whole world, a black sand beach. I didn't even like the beach before I went to this black sand beach, because normal beaches, they're like the white sand or yellow sand, they're grainy, it gets everywhere, and it's really annoying. But the black sand, it's like walking in clay. You can sink into it, it's smooth, it's soft, it's almost like therapeutic. It's amazing, incredible. The food there is incredible. I discovered patacones, which is one of my favorite foods, which is you get this giant green plantain or banana, and then you mash it, you fry it, and then you mash it again, and then you turn it into basically like a tostada, where you put on top the meat and the cheese and the beans and the salsa, and it's incredible. And the food in Costa Rica, everything is so fresh, because right now I'm in the forest, but in Costa Rica you're in the jungle. So maybe if I was in Costa Rica right now, maybe these would be banana trees, maybe there would be coconut trees. The fruit in there is incredibly fresh. The fish is incredibly fresh.
Sorry for that.
Oh, no problem. Well, yeah, I love Costa Rica. It's an amazing place. I highly recommend everyone should go. A lot of people there speak English as well. Their slogan is Pura Vida, which means pure life. And it's funny because I had Costa Rican food here before I went there, and it's like a night and day difference. And it almost, unfortunately, shows the difference between American culture and Costa Rican culture. Because American culture, the Costa Rican food was frozen. You had to be all business minded and stuff and try to make it work so it's feasible. But in Costa Rica, you want something, you can literally go walk in the forest and come back with it. Or you want fish, you go catch a fish. And I had one of the best restaurant experiences of my life there. I went to this restaurant called Maxi by Ricky. It's a Jamaican restaurant, and I remember sitting there and I saw a fruit tree, and I said, what kind of fruit is that? He said, that's a mango tree. The guy climbs a mango and he brings me a mango. That's customer service you won't find in Europe, I guarantee you that. It was incredible, it was amazing, and I would honestly wouldn't mind loving to live in Costa Rica. It's an amazing place, especially if I was rich, and to have all this fresh food that you really feel is nourishing and healing. Meanwhile, a lot of food in America, unfortunately, is like hyper processed and inflammatory. And yeah, the jungles, the beaches, the people are really nice. And I've been a lot of places, and what I loved about Costa Rica is that everyone there was really happy. And that's what I love to see when I travel, is when people are happy. That's how you know it's a place that has a future and that a place that you consider moving to. Unfortunately, when I was in Western Europe, the people there looked miserable. And that's really unfortunate. And so, number 2 on my list, my favorite country in Europe by far, and that was Prague. I love Prague. Prague is an amazing city. It's a city I dreamed about going to for 10 years before I actually went there last year. And it was incredible because I think it's the most beautiful city on earth. I mean, when you go there and you see all the old churches and castles, and you can even drink beer in a castle. They have like cafes in a castle. How amazing is that? And the people there were actually nice and friendly, and the cost was about half or even a third of what it was in other places in Western Europe. And yeah, the people were hospitable, and it was great. Like, this A tier and S tier, these are countries that I actually thought about moving to. Eventually, I thought, well, I don't know, I guess I'll just stay here and make money, and then go back whenever I want to, or maybe I'll buy a vacation home there in the future. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so those are spots number 3 and number 2, and they're amazing. I love them. I highly recommend them. I think everyone should go. And like, I'm not even kidding, I think Prague is amazing. That it's so amazing that when you go to Europe, you should skip out on some of the other countries, especially since it's like over touristed and almost overwhelming, and it's almost like you're in a constant sea of people. In Prague, it's way more chill, and they have a ton of stuff to do. It's a really amazing place. Highly recommend it. Alright, and I think you know what S tier is. Alright, so my number 1 country, and it's been this way ever since I've been there. It took about a day for me to realize it was my favorite when I was there. I remember I landed there and I was like, is this place worth the hype? Waited about a day and I was like, yeah, this place is definitely worth the hype. It is still my favorite. It was my favorite the moment I stepped foot there, and that is Thailand. These are all the countries I've been to even after Thailand, and they still don't stack up to Thailand. I've been to Mexico, Costa Rica, Spain, France, Italy, Vatican City, and Czech Republic. I've been to 7 countries since Thailand, and none of them stack up crazy. I mean, I think about Thailand every day. Part of me wishes I never came back. Part of me wishes that I sold all my stuff and moved to Thailand. Man, it was a place that changed my life, and I think if anyone went to Thailand, I think if anyone went to Thailand, you would also have a life-changing experience and see how amazing it is. I'll tell you why. Part of my pitch to Thailand, when people ask me why it's my favorite, you can buy just about anything for $10. You can buy a hotel room, an Uber, you can buy a meal, you can buy pretty much anything you could possibly want for $10. I mean, my day in Thailand would look something like this. I'd wake up, go get a fresh coconut off the tree for $2, and then I'd go have some amazing street food for another $2, and then I'd go to a temple, maybe talk to some monks, go to an 8-story mall, and yeah, it was amazing. It was incredible. It was relaxing. It was nice. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. It's like really hot, but I went in December. It was really nice when I went. So I didn't think it was too bad. It was like maybe 80 degrees the whole month. But I'm sure if I went in the summer, maybe I'd have a different opinion at a different time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was there, 18 months ago? And I still think to this day, like, if I would have done things differently, I could have just bought an apartment there and I'd have a stress-free life, and I don't know, I'm sure I could make all my dreams come true there. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I'm here, and I'll make things work. I always do. I always find a way. There are 2 countries I'm going to this year, possibly more. If you want to know, you have to wait and find out. But yeah, how many countries have you been to? Comment down below. Out of all the countries I've been to, which one is your favorite? Let me know. And